Doing good, how are you?
Not too bad. Today with Adam, and Adam, how was your day?
I had a pretty good day. A little disappointing I didn't get to go fly today because my airplane wasn't available. Other than that, it was a pretty cool day.
Okay, you're a pilot also?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Tell me how does being a pilot transition into school? Like how does it work?
It definitely I don't know, it's kind of hard to sit in class and when you want to be out flying, that's what I'm here to do is work on those skills. And I know it's necessary to be in the classroom and learn this stuff, but you just really want to be out there and go fly. So it's kind of conflicting.
Was being a pilot, was it more of like a hobby that you just kind of I want to come in and actually fly, like just a hobby that turned into a major?
Nah, as soon as I decided that I wanted to be a pilot, as soon as I started flying, I had already had the idea this is what I wanted to do for my life. It's a career decision. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So when did you start flying?
Actually, this last summer, prior to coming up here, I started working to get my private license, and that's how I spent the summer.
Okay. And how does flying come out in your personality? Does it help evolve your personality?
I think there's a certain amount of control and responsibility that all pilots kind of have in every situation.
Okay.
Just because when you're flying the airplane, it's your job to be the guy in charge and the person making the correct decisions. So I like to be the one to call the shots in my day-to-day life too.
Okay. So piloting does a lot in your aspects of growing as a college student.
Certainly.
Okay. How often do you fly during the week?
I usually try to fly 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays.
Okay. And just whenever you're up there flying, does it make you feel like you're on top of the world?
Oh yeah, it's a high, if you will. It's there's something about being up there, and as soon as you take off, you're okay, yeah, we're flying now.
Now, is there any kind of agency that you would like to fly for, corporation that you would want to fly for in the future, or why would you want to fly for one that you would choose?
I really want to fly for an airline. Cargo is a really great field, but I just want to fly people. Something about having my load be humans that have feelings and that are on my flight I'm responsible for. It just seems like a really cool thing to me.
Oh yeah, I got you. And what's the average pay for a pilot?
Initially, not very much. At a regional airliner, you're making probably less than $30,000 a year for the first couple of years.
Really?
Yeah, but once you get that big airline position, the pay can jump up to 6 figures and really be a nice setup. So
it's kind of a crazy transition from 30,000 to 6 figures.
Yeah, yeah.
And how long does it take to get to that jump?
I'm expecting probably about 10 years out of school.
So 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a curious question. Most majors are based off your bachelor's, whatever. You get 4 years. Is it the same way with being a pilot, or do you have certain kind of classes, or hours? How does that work?
I'll get my degree whenever I'm getting the certain amount of certifications that I need, and then there's also classes along with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then to fly for an airline, you have to have what is called restricted ATP, air transport pilot license, or regard, and you need 1,000 hours for the restricted ATP or 1,500 for the ATP. So to start flying for the airlines, there's hour requirements.
Okay.
Flight hours.
Okay, so definitely flying has been something that you've wanted to do since you were I guess when you first started, you're hey, I'm going to try it out, and you definitely taken a lot of hours, and I guess you already have your mindset on something that you would like to fly for. Am I right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So tell me about your family. What's your family? Is your family pretty supportive about you flying?
Yeah, I'd say they're very supportive actually. The cost of flying is outrageous compared to any other undergrad major. It's probably the most expensive undergrad major offered at OSU just due to the cost of flight training.
Mm-hmm.
So financially, they've been very supportive. I mean, they all really think I can do it and accomplish it, which is really, nice. But there's no real pilot history in my family, so they all kind of, you want to be a pilot? And it took them a while before they like believe that, yeah, this is what I want to do. But
yeah. So what are all the different things you have to pay for whenever you're being a pilot?
Well, to train, you have to. I mean, there's certain equipment stuff that you need, but you rent the plane, or there's gas costs, and then you have to, in most cases, pay for a flight instructor.
Okay.
And so it probably comes down to about, I don't know, I'd say at least over $100 an hour for flight. So it's very expensive. Almost an extra, probably $8 to $10 grand per certification.
Mm-hmm.
So it really adds up, but I don't know. I think it'll be worth it in the long run for me.
And I'm sure that you ladies are well involved with lady pilots, right? Am I right?
I sure hope so. Well, one of the things, like, we have flight classes, like, one of our flight classes today, there's 0 girls in it. There's one girl and she wasn't there, so just room of guys. So it's a very male, still a lot of pilots are guys, but there's something whenever you tell a girl that you're going to be a pilot, they like it,
Oh yeah.
And it's a cool feeling too.
Oh yeah, mine's completely the opposite. So, so go ahead and tell me, what are your future plans as like in organizations like you or in any kind of like I guess clubs or anything for flying?
Yeah, actually, I'm a member of 2 clubs. I'm a Flying Aggie, which is a really cool little group. They do some cool events, go out to different little flight events, and host a monthly meeting, Hideaway Pizza. Nothing wrong with that. And then I'm currently a pledge for the pilot fraternity, Alpha Eta Rho.
Okay.
It's been an interesting experience so far. I don't think it's what it could be yet, but I'm hoping whenever we're older and kind of in charge of things, we get to make it something that's like worth doing.
Oh yeah.
So.
All right, cool. And so you have big plans for it, right?
I would love to see it become something really cool. I think the idea of a pilot fraternity where pilots hang out and go do cool things together and have a budget to go do those cool things together could be really awesome. But right now it just seems like a little disorganized, a little kind of haphazardly run. So.
Okay. And so how many members do y'all run?
I think our current pledge class has about maybe 8 kids. So I imagine there's not more than 50 kids in the entire organization. It's rather small.
Okay. And so you definitely have your shoulders on the right path, it looks like. Definitely love flying, and obviously it's something that you're passionate about, and you enjoy it. You actually came to a great school, it seems like, and we know that OSU's one of the only ones in the South. And so it's great talking to you about that. I hope everything goes planned as it was, and you have a great future with it.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah, you too.